This is an important topic to have a conversation about luxury, specifically in a fast fashion world. I'm Jackie Demonis. I'm the founder of Idea Citizen. I'm here today with Richard Coles, co-founder and CEO, and Kamil Biel, co-founder and creative director at Bilson's Menswear. We're having a founder conversation about craft, conviction, and what it takes to build a fashion house from the ground up on your own terms. So, what does it actually mean to build something in an industry that rewards shortcuts? What do people really want from luxury today? And what does it take to enter a new market with a clearer point of view and to make it stick? How do you both define luxury?
My definition of luxury has nothing to do with fashion. It's space. So it's very conceptual. It's
Tell
space.
me, say more.
You want me to tell you more about space?
Yeah,
I
like what
think
does that mean?
it means that for me, luxury is not material. Luxury is the possibility to move, to control space, your environment. I think a house is not luxurious because it has marble. It's the quality of the space you're surrounded yourself with. So I think it's the same with clothes, right? It's how you leave your clothes, especially in space, more than the material part of it. That's my definition of luxury.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Camille?
So I will go maybe from my definition of luxury in case of clothing, right? So definitely it is a fabric. The fabric has to be organic, has to be responsibly sourced. That's very important for me. And luxury is not only how it lays on you, but how it's done. The craftsmanship behind the stitching make make it last forever. If you have a well done pants, fantastic material, you can wear them for next 10 years. If you buy something way cheaper, you can just wear it until the next month. If you wash it 5, 6 times, it's over.
I completely agree
so
with
for
you.
you,
I mean,
luxury is
For me, luxury is the quality of the fabric, is the time you are able to give to produce this kind of piece, the responsibility behind sourcing, but also manufacturing. How is it manufactured? By who? Yeah.
what challenges are you coming up against? There's fast fashion is everywhere. There's a new line of products at Zara, H&M, and it's nonstop. It's just this push of new, I guess, consumer friendly products with a new color, a new cut. How are you combating kind of this push for fast fashion or in shortcuts? What does that look like?
But I think, funny enough, in this segment of business, all the challenges we're facing are opportunities. You talk about fast fashion. We're not fast fashion. We're not Zaha. We're not H&M. However, there's an offer more growing. Everybody is talking about quiet luxury. Everybody wants to be quiet luxury, and nobody really know what quiet luxury is. That's why there's so much offer. If you start following one on Instagram, you'll have 1,000, and Instagram is becoming the platform for quiet luxury when you don't have more term. So the challenges we have, the opportunities we have today is to be sincere and to really make sure we can service the market. Many of them are pop-ups, they're trying, and you can see it's a lot of BS. Behind it, there's not a structure. It's how do you capitalize on social media? How do you build a brand? You're credible on social media. And the challenge, the opportunity has been into all our marketing. It's a passion. It's very interesting. All the work we've been doing on the marketing side. We are mostly a marketing brand. That's what we are, right? We are a brand. But the opportunity has been the fact that we have our own plant. So to manage the supply chain, we know that what we're going to sell, we can produce it ourselves. Then you don't have any breach, any moment where you have interruption in the supply chain management. So the service to the market will be excellent. So that's our the biggest opportunity. We make money on the manufacturing because it's a separate entity, a separate company, and we do make sure that we will service the market. And then all the product development, which is before even the marketing, we also control it with Camille and I every time creating, making patterns, developing a product, changing it, and getting it to the exact final shaping we want. So all these challenges are opportunities because less and less people have all the chain fully integrated. Now you say, okay, I'm going to be a brand. I'm going to just go for marketing. I don't want to know about manufacturing. It's a hassle. It's not my thing. You know what? We have realized that many brands, even the bigger brands of the bigger groups, they say they're quite luxury. Some are amazing, like Hermes. It's amazing what they do. Loro Piana, it's amazing what they do. But you have a bunch, and I can name them, like Gucci. You look at the suit of Gucci. It's been made. You don't know where. You open it, and inside is filthy. The brand is strong, but the product is very poor. What we believe is that we have a strong brand. I mean, we're trying to build a strong honest, sincere brand in quiet luxury with everything Camille has defined, but also we are controlling the manufacturing process, not only for the quality of what we're delivering, but what Camille was saying is that also with very fair business practices, very fair manufacturing practices, we are very careful about the environment and all the issues that everybody talks about, but we put our mouth where our action where our mouth is. So it's a long process. Also, we do know the biggest challenge or opportunity is you have to have the energy, the oxygen. You know it's not going to be today. You know it's not going to be tomorrow. It's not going to be next year. It's 2, 3, 4 years, and we're ready for that. And we're taking all the steps we can develop after. But I think all these challenges are opportunities because we do control the whole manufacture, the whole chain from thinking in the bed, oh, we could do this, we could have a color, yeah, and to the sourcing, to the development of the product, to the manufacturing of the product, control of the quality of the product, the stocking, the distribution of the product, and all the marketing that's the front end. We control all of it. And I believe there's not many companies today that are born that do that. They go to manufacturers who have several models and they just put together, it's kind of styling companies, put together a few models and they say that's their brand. And that's why they don't last. I think we have the long-term vision that we understand it's a process and we do control the process.
I'd be curious from Camille or Richard, do you find that like there's a different mentality or thinking around it from a European market versus even a US market or even broadly globally?
I think it's the consumer that makes a difference. I've worked a lot with US companies, corporations for mass market. They provide the best quality to the US market. The quality of the garments in the US market, I'm talking about mass. I'm not talking about designers. And they produce mostly in the Caribbean, sometimes in China, but they do have standards that they follow. And you will have a brand like Hayes that will deliver a perfect garment to Walmart. Same with Fruit of the Loom or all these brands that are activewear, even jeanswear like Wrangler and others. They are very good quality. There's something in the industry of the United States. The US manufacturer is very quality oriented, not the US designer. And the problem of the US designer, he outsources his manufacturing to China, India, and then the quality goes to hell. Let's be clear, the US market, the consumer is delivered by the US manufacturer of a very good quality for day-to-day garments or basic garments. Now, when you get into fashion, the designer, the outsource and the quality is poor. The problem is that now the consumer of the US on fashion, they don't really know. They don't really care. They will consume. They won't see the difference between a Zara and a top brand. They won't see the difference, even the fit, even the projection, because they're not so much. I'm not talking in New York, of course. That's why you do have a lot of fashion brands that work like Zara, H&M and others. I mean, H&M especially has a very poor quality, but they
I
work
mean,
good.
they are fast fashion. I mean, I would describe them completely opposite to what you're doing. I mean, it's not, there's a market for it, but it's just different.
Yeah, but Europe is more educated, I would say, as far as the fashion fits projection is concerned. So it's a market that's more picky, and that's why you have a lot of brands that are very popular brands. But it's changing. It's not just Europe. Now you have even China, they're developing amazing things. South America also developing amazing brands. So, but there are differences. What we do, we don't want to service everybody, not all cultures, not all segments of the industry. We have a very focused segment we're looking for. Even though our costs are high because we are producing in Europe, we're producing in Poland. It's a made in Europe brand. And many people say you should not do that. You should have gone elsewhere. We want this label of made in Europe because it carries craftsmanship, tradition, even in the fabric. So our costs are a little high, but yet we control them very well. We're competitive. And our brand, we're not trying to sell to the billionaires or the people. We're trying to sell to the trendy people who want to look trendy, who want to be in the game, the people who move, the people who are professionals making enough money. We're not selling a jacket for 5,000, 6,000 like Coccinelli or like Laurent Piana, but yet we're still in a range where many people can buy. But people who buy us are people who are looking for fashion. They're looking for something to express themselves.
We take a lot of pride in producing clothes, and not only, as you're saying, all the ornaments, the shoes, whole my region, it's full of this. Every few hundred meters, you would have an atelier, bigger or smaller, with people who dedicated their life for fashion. And what's amazing also, it's very easy to source for us, as we still have a lot of fantastic companies producing polished silk, producing linen, producing cotton, and such a fantastic experience when you can really go and you can see how it's done, you can touch it, and you're sure that it comes from the right source.
When I go to the plant we have in Poland, I'm like, guys, stop talking. But at the end of the day, the details that they're talking about for a fashion brand make the whole difference on the finished good. It's those little details that will make the garment perfect.
I do want to kind of go into your transition into a new US market.
De Paris, New York, Paris Milan, Tokyo, Paris, New York. That's what you used to have on the Yves Saint Laurent, on the big designer brand, right? It was cool to be in New York and Paris. Now those cities are becoming a little boring, to tell you honestly. And the action is no longer so much there. Even the creative part. I mean, look at Miami. Our Basel is now in Miami. It's not in Paris. So it says a lot about the shift of interest in culture and in what's trendy today. So we said we don't want to have a Paris, New York label. If we were to have one, we want to have a Miami, Dubai label. It's a very dynamic, inclusive market and very curious market. So for the United States, we made an event 10 days ago or less than 10 days ago. We had press, we had people that came to see it, and we could see that all the young and not so young, but all the trendy people they wanted to buy right now. They were completely passionate about it. So I think we were right in our assessment. We don't go all over. We don't go cheap. We don't go too expensive. We address these people moving who like those disclose that's a statement. And I think we're going to go, and Miami is becoming for us one of the target, because for the moment we're online. The strategy is online. It's social media, like most of the beginning companies in this domain do, but with the intention of opening stores. And we believe the design district in Miami could be a very good starting point with an antenna, another one in Dubai. Our brand is about moving, it's about traveling. And Miami, for people with some money, and Dubai have become transit cities, not really cities where they say, especially the young professional. So they're always moving London, Dubai, London, Miami, Paris, Dubai, Singapore, London, Dubai, Miami.
Is there anything that you wanted to kind of leave anybody listening with?
That everybody talks about made in Italy, made in France. That we're saying made in Europe, made in Poland is the next step, especially when we're talking about Miami, Dubai, and we're open to the world. We conceive everything in Paris. So we do have that background. We produce everything in Europe. So it's a European product, but we've traveled 93 countries. We're open to the world. We know how it works. And we think we're addressing a segment that's not serviced today, of people who want to show class, want to have their own style.
We always wanted to have a capsule that and a small carry-on suitcase what we like to travel with, that I can wear these clothes in Europe, in Paris next week, but I can still go with this clothes to Miami and look great in it. And I can go to Haiti. I'm going to DC the day after tomorrow. And it's this kind of clothing that everywhere you would look good, and you would look, you wouldn't look weird. It's something that is very in between. It's very right to the point. It's very comfortable. You can fly with it. You can work with it. It's not too elegant. It's not too casual. It's something right in between.
But it's an in between that's very affirmative, that we are luxury, quiet luxury.
Is there anything recently that's inspired you? You guys have been traveling, so I'm not sure if there's maybe something through your travels that you're like, oh, we should make something like that, or let's change something, or something that like impacted the business.
Creativity, creation, as Picasso said, is improving. It's copying and you improve, right? So you get inspired. Inspiration, you don't just have your eyes open to the sky and boop, you see things, and you appropriate yourself with what you see, and then you change it. But yet there is a universe. We invite you to our quiet luxury universe in colors, textures. It's very quiet. It's very classy according to our criteria, right? But to answer your question, by traveling, of course, we've seen jackets in Morocco, and we say, oh shit, that a capsule of this jacket could be so cool, adding to this very linear initial line. And then you go to Japan and you see a kimono, you say, oh, whoa, that's amazing. So that's how we're going to grow it. It's also using our travels and integrating capsules that are always different, but staying in the same universe. I don't know if I answered your question.
Getting inspired by each travel we make, creating something, some capsules that can last.
I love it.